All right, folks. I'm gonna do one BTC video that I was thinking about today. So I'm just telling you guys. Well, I've been posting videos on what price would do, should do. Now I'm gonna post in reference to a specific strategy, which is the one that I post in Discord, and you guys can try to apply this to see if this plays out again. So use the same strategy here, okay? The one that we learned, the one that I was taught by my good friend, and then he helped me see it from a technical aspect, and now I created a video illustrating it, and now see we can apply the same strategy here, over here. So basically, you can go to a daily or high time frame, just draw your primary trend line in a high time frame like this, and draw your horizontal support. Try to find one key horizontal support in high time frame. So price is respecting this downtrend line. It tries to break it. It respects this downtrend line. Once it breaks up, it has to come back and retest it or retest that previous support. Once that occurs, one can enter with a stop loss below support and see if price continues to rally upward. That's basically what we were looking for here, okay? Now over here, let's say that we would have drawn this sometime here, right? Let's say, let me do a replay. We can do a replay here now. So we'll do a replay there, okay? So we're gonna pause it. So this is one strategy, okay? So let's say that's the beginning of the strategy. That's what I was looking at the beginning, right? So then what we do is we pick the horizontal support. So we notice that of this here was demand, right? So that's the reason why I drew that. Now, because it was demand, I was expecting for price to sort of bounce up from there. How do I go back? Ooh. Oh, okay, I cannot do that, so I'm gonna have to delete it manually. And hold on, guys, I'm trying to do this on the phone. Maybe it was a bad idea to do it on the phone. Maybe not. I don't know. We're gonna find out soon enough. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Oh boy. Okay, so now I'm gonna draw the line again. So we're talking about this line here. Okay. So this to me was the man right here. Okay, that was the man right there to me. So I drew that support. Now, hindsight, we can say this was sort of a rounded retest. On a rounded retest, we usually expect to break up and everything is good. But here, we're just doing this strategy. So it's respecting this downtrend line. It had a reaction of this demand. It tried to close above the support. So this here would be the support level. This would be the demand. So you would draw a horizontal support level. So then you're waiting for price. You're waiting for price to move sideways, break up. Once it comes down to retest a trend line or retest support, you will go long expecting for it to go higher. And that's basically what happened here. So here, what requires is patience. Just waiting for price to develop, then wait for it to go sideways. If it's consolidating sideways, one will either enter there with a medium risk to high risk, because if it breaks down, then it will execute your stop loss. If it breaks down from this support, then one will wait for this level to be reclaimed. So basically, it will create a spring effect. So this will be another parameter on this strategy. So it's going sideways, breaks down. It doesn't matter how low it goes or where it breaks, but the point is that it broke from that creative support. Once it regains it and retests it, one will go deep because it's meeting most of the parameters that we've set forth, which is respecting this downtrend line, is moving sideways. It broke that sideways consolidation from that support, but then it got bought up quickly, regained it, came back down to retest the trend line or retest that support and go long. Okay, or it goes sideways, goes up, it comes near the support or trend line. As long as it maintains a higher low from this point and that point, then that's the 123 basically entry for long. So let's see what happens. We're gonna speed this up. Boom. So right there, so it went sideways. So we saw that it broke down. At that point, it's meeting our second criteria, which something broke down. It had a nasty rejection of this trend line. One could have seen this and seen, whoa, this is gonna be, it got rejected nasty of this trend line. So now I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna expect a little dump and see if it bounces off this support or this demand level here. Bought up, so this will be demand. It actually bounced off here. So now you're still not sure if it's just gonna do a bearish retest and continue downward. So you still gotta wait. And the wait is, you gotta wait for this green level to be reclaimed. Either pops up, comes down, goes up, comes near to retest the trend line or retest the support. At that point, you're still having a higher low from all these points, and you will go long with your stop loss below. Boom. Okay, this is another thing. Also take into consideration how fast that level gets regained or how bullish that candle is. This level got regained pretty fast. It wasn't a grind. It was one solid green candle, which was a bullish engulfing candle. At that point, you're like, oh snap, everything was good. So now you go to a lower time frame to find your entry somewhere around that zone. And you'll put your stop loss below here or here, depending what is your margin levels or perpetual, or spot. But this is something you have to be patient. This is something that it has to be patient, and you got to wait for it to develop. Boom. So it did come down to retest this, and you entered there. It couldn't close above. Because it couldn't close above, that's a rejection. This gives the indication that we could have a little sell-off here. As long as it still maintains the higher low from here, it's still good. Okay, grinding, retest it again, boom. So you see here, it came up, it came to retest this level. It's still maintaining a higher low from here. Okay, so here you will enter again. It's more of a medium risk to high risk entering here. But you will still enter because it's meeting most of our criteria. To me, once this level is regained quickly, the way it is done here, to me, that's an indication to go long. To me, that's more of a medium to safe entry, in my opinion, because I've seen this repeatedly. When you have something moving sideways, it dumps that support, and then it regains it quickly the way it did in this bullish engulfing candle. That, to me, tells me it's good to go. Or you want to be safe, you wait for this level to be reclaimed. The previous highs, which would be either 3,500, or you would have waited for 3,600. It's moving sideways again. So we have an impulse. Look at that. Okay. So we had an impulse, then we had a correction, moving sideways, and boom, it broke up. So you would have taken this either on a clean break, or you wait for a retest of this level and just go long. Because it has met all the criteria here. It broke this downtrend. It went up. It came down to retest. That's the basic rule. It breaks this downtrend line. It comes back to retest it or near it or retest the horizontal support. You will enter there with your stop loss below and go long. Or you met previous criteria. It's going sideways, loses the level, regains the level quickly. It comes to retest it, you go long. Or you wait for these highs or these highs to be broken. As long as it maintains a higher low from here. Met here, higher low, still maintained it. Now you just go long. And you play level and just play level by level. Okay, so we had an impulse, a retest, impulse, boom. So it had a rejection here. So now one would expect we will have a dip. All right, we know this is good now. Now it has a rejection here. We expect this to come down, maybe consolidate along here before it goes higher. And we know what happened next. It went all the way up. Let's see if we can play this a little quicker. Massive candle. All right, it didn't even give a chance for this to go sideways. It just had a massive, massive candle. Everyone was chasing around here. Now, everyone's chasing around here because they were breaking for these previous highs to be broken. They were chasing. This probably came down. This could come back down to correct, and you go along again. All right, most of this is not hindsight. This here was already planned out. I posted charts about this. I was posting a lot of scenarios on how this whole thing could play out. I thought from here it was going to have a sell-off before it continued higher. Okay, but obviously, as we know, this ran all the way up to 63,000. Let's see how everything played out. Comes down to retest. Retest wasn't that, it was a shallow one. It's grinding. Here, everyone thought this was some sort of rising wedge or things like that. Guys, during this bull market, there's no such thing as a rising wedge that's going to break bear. Most of it, almost all of it, 70 to 60% or higher has been breaking up. So keep that in mind. And boom. That's basically it. Then you have the sell-off, and you have this complex correction to where we are now. Let me speed this up. See, one could have done the same thing here. Draw this trend line. It breaks it. Okay, you can take it in a clean breakout of this resistance level, or you wait for a retest and go long. Okay, look, it's giving you the retest. Okay, consolidating impulse. You had a correction. You enter near that retest of this support here. This is still holding and closed above. That's another thing we got to practice, to wait for closes. And from here, you will put your stop loss below and see if it comes back up. Boom. Okay. Of course, we're all doing hindsight, but this is all part of this strategy my good friend taught me. And once he explained it to me from a technical aspect, it made sense. Most of us, we all do this, but we don't, because we don't see it from the technical aspect. We don't realize it. Now that I know it from a technical aspect, I'm able to realize it and see it much more often, more quicker. See, at this point, when it came to retest here, I thought we were going to continue down here or move sideways, but we had a freaking anomaly that popped up here, and I think that threw everything off course, and that's the reason why we're having this nasty correction, in my opinion. But I shouldn't say that, you know. Where is it? Yeah, right here. I thought here we were going to just continue down, go sideways. Had that pop, which was to me was an anomaly. Now we have this bearish swing point. Okay, so this is what we have now. We have this downtrend channel. You can do it here too. Downtrend channel, however you want to look at it. The only difference here is that this angle, it's not as steep as this one. Okay, this one here, it would take a little bit more of a sideways before it breaks this. Comes down, sideways, up, maybe down, grinds or regains it, and goes up. So now you know. Now you guys know what to look for. Try to do this, practice that one, and try to see if it occurs here. And I posted that strategy on my channel, on the strategy channel. Just practice it. You guys can use that for any alt. You can use it in scalping. If you guys go to the EOS channel, we did one I was doing one with someone for EOS, and we used that strategy. It works. You guys can go to a lower time frame, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to half an hour, and just practice. All right? Sometimes it's not as clear as these. All right? It's not as clear as this one, you know. So that's why I added the other criterias, which is move sideways, loses the level, regains it quickly, go long, or it does a rounded retest. This is a rounded retest and go long. You know, it's different ways to look at it. I try to add other confluences just in case if that happened, then you got to wait for this criteria. If that happens, you wait for this criteria. You know, set parameters. But go watch the strategy video again and see what happens. But over here, that's basically what I'm waiting for. But because this angle is so steep, much difference than this one, I don't think it's going to be something like this. It'll be something a little bit more choppy or not too obvious. That's basically it. Just see if we can have the same development here. That's basically what I'm waiting for, to be honest. So that's what you look for right now for BTC, guys. Try to. Let's see if this plays out something like this or something like this. Okay. So now we wait. We wait for those scenarios to occur.